Hi, Lana is back with Sar Soaps, and today we're gonna refinish dresser with a nightstand. This little beauty came to me in very bad shape. I had little doubts if I even can make it something beautiful, but in the end, it's all great. Just look at this poor, beautiful nightstand. It has a good bone toe, but you know, it's in a rough shape, but it's okay, we're gonna clean it up. I'm trying to multitask, talking on the phone and removing the shelves. It's not that easy, but it's okay. See, it's a little stuck. In used furniture, sometimes you can find a lot of goodies. Some junk, but sometimes it's something good. You never know. Using the orbital sander, I removing the top of this nightstand because the finish has a lot of water damage, and everything is peeling, it's chipping. So I'm just not necessarily trying to remove everything, but I'm just trying to smooth it out. Using 120 grit sandpaper, I'm just smoothing the top. Then doing quick scuff sanding on the rest of the body so my paint have better grip. Because of the water damage, some areas was so bad that I had to sand it just to make it more even look. And unfortunately, trying to sand it down, I sand it down to particle boards. So because of that, I'm using a little bit of wood filler to kind of fill in the areas to create its more even and smooth looking surface. And now while the top is drying, I'm deciding to give it a very good deep wash using TSP. Make sure you put in gloves. Just follow instructions, whatever's on your cleaning solution, what precautions to take, if you need to rinse off or not. With this TSP, I do use then a clean rag with a clean water to wipe it off at the end. But this piece was in a bad shape. I don't think I ever work on anything so dirty. Just crossing my fingers as everything is gonna be okay in the end. I even had to use my toothbrush to clean this piece. No, of course I'm kidding, it's not my toothbrush, it's something extra I have to use on very areas where you cannot reach. It's perfect for that. Now after everything is dried up and excuse me, and everything is sanded off, because in the shape it was, I want to make sure that the next person who's gonna get this doesn't have any problems with the smell, with the stain coming through or anything like that. So I'm applying a shellac. I decided just to go with a coat. You can do a couple of coats to make sure, but because I was using kind of a grayish and darker colors, you know, so it's I felt it would be enough just one. So I apply the coat of shellac. One thing I have to say, when working with the shellac, just make sure you work it in very good ventilated area. Windows open, the best if you're doing like in a garage with garage open, to just make sure no fumes gets to you. And now preparations is over and we can start painting. I wanted to give a little bit of ombre look, starting from the black and going to grays, darker grays, and go up to the lighter grays, and the top again going to dark. So first color, I'm starting with the dark color. I'm using ink by Waverly, and that's we will apply on the top of the dresser and the nightstand and at the bottom of the edge. After a good shake, Waverly paint is very thick, so I do like to give a few spritz and mix it up to give a little bit looser consistency. Also, I want to mention, if you're still with me to this point, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also if you like what you see, click that bell notification. Is gonna tell you every time my new video coming up. So the lightest color, I'm using a Driftwood by Dixie Belle. That would be more towards the top of the dressers and the nightstand. My next gray color is again by Dixie Belle. It's a Hurricane Gray. And also I want to mention that at this point, because it's just the first coat we're applying, we're just applying the colors where we imagine where they're gonna be. Not so much blending involved. We're just applying, so the dark on the bottom, the mid gray, the mid section, and lighter grays towards the top, and then the black again on the top. Okay, my initial plan was just to color top black, but after I finish applying and I'm stepped away and I'm looking at my nightstand, I feel the black is just too harsh, very screaming at me. So I decided to tone it down. I didn't know at that point that it's gonna give me the look that I'm really fell in love with. I think I can repeat the same technique and do the same look on many projects forward going on. That's how much I like that. So I decided to tone it down with the glaze. I'm using Valspar clear glaze, and I'm gonna create my own color. So using 4 parts of glaze to 1 part of my Driftwood chalk paint. Just mix everything and applying over the black. So at this point you might think, yeah, it's not toning down, it's covering everything, but it's more to that. I'm gonna do the ragging technique. It's when you take the cloth or a paper towel, you scrunch to create a different texture, and then you just go and tap, tap, tap. It's what it does, it removes some of the paint, leaving the prints, whatever is on scrunch areas. It just so easy. It just went so smooth, and as I'm tapping, I was like, oh my god, it just started looking like a stone or marble. I wasn't sure. And you see, if you remove too much, you can always add more, and it came out beautiful. I am in love with that. And now let's look a little closer to how I blend the colors and give this ombre effect. You're definitely gonna need some spray bottle on hand and couple of extra brushes to blend. So we start with applying our colors in the usual normal way, just where you want that color to see. So Driftwood on top and Hurricane Gray towards the middle. And now I'm taking clean brush and spray bottle and just blurring the lines. If you feel your brush start dragging too much, just spray a little bit of water and it will allow your brush to smoothly move. And fine, very light strokes, like feather. You don't push too hard. You push too hard, you start dragging the color too much. Now, a little tip about dark colors. They can be very like grabbing everything, like taking the area. You see, I put just a little bit of black, and look how much when it's blended, just taking over. But don't worry, if you feel it's too much, you can apply. You see, I'm applying Hurricane Gray just a little bit more, just to lighten up that black color, so it's smooth and doesn't look such a harsh line. And it's also good to wipe off your blending brush, because if it's too much color on your blending brush, you just smearing the color all over instead of just to blend it up. And of course, you need to look at your piece and see aesthetically. If you're not satisfied with some areas, you can add one or another color, whatever you feel like you need to be added more. But also remember, at some point you need to step away. You need to let the color dry and look again. Because when everything is dry, everything gonna look different, and at that point you can decide what to add. Nightstand is done, and now we have to do it all over again to finish the dresser. Let's speed up. Again, using black at the top of the dresser and at the bottom of the edges. Driftwood and Hurricane Gray on the rest of the body. And let's look a little bit closer, just a little bit closer, to see how I accidentally discover how to make faux stone effect. It's wonderful. One thing I wanted to also mention, it's very important. Before you're applying the glaze, make sure the bottom paint is completely dry so they don't accidentally mix together. It needs to be completely dry before you're applying. And now we're back to blending. Again, very light strokes, very soft touches. Spray the water where you need it. Step away when you have to. And now, to seal the project, I pull out my handy dandy spray machine, and I'm just gonna spray the top coat on that. And one thing I learned, don't spray at night because you can't see mostly anything. I didn't see how strong is my spray, although I did test it and I thought everything was fine. But I guess when it's darker, it creates the shade, so you really don't see it. I did have a little bit of dripping parts, but luckily I was able to sand it the next day and give it another coat. So totally I gave 2 coats on the bottom and about 3 coats on the top to protect it. Also, all of the products today I used, it's gonna be in the description box below, so if you like anything, if you want to use any product, just go ahead, go down there and check it out for yourself. And now, after everything is dried, the only what is left is put new hardware. And before I let you see the final result, I just want to thank you guys being with me here today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell so you get notified when my videos comes. And I hope to see you back in my future videos. Until then, bye bye! And one more time, don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye!